Hello, we are discussing about GATE 2010 ECE paper, and this question is related to analog circuits. This is a common data question. Okay, first look at the circuit diagram. Consider the common emitter amplifier circuit shown below with the following circuit parameters. Beta is given, Gm transconductance is given, R0 output resistance is given, Rs source resistance, Rb base resistance, Rc collector resistance, RL load resistance, C1 is infinite, C2 is 4.7 microfarad. These are the parameters given. We are going to calculate resistance seen by the source Vs. What is the equivalent resistance if you are looking by the source? The resistance seen by the source Vs, and next lower cutoff frequency due to C2. C2 value is given 4.7 microfarad. So what is going to be the lower cutoff frequency resulting due to this C2? These are the two things we are going to calculate. So first we start with resistance seen by the source. Resistance seen by the source Vs. So for that one, first of all we have to draw the AC equivalent circuit. Whenever we are going for the AC equivalent circuit, we must consider, okay, whenever we are going for the AC equivalent circuit, we must consider this is DC voltage source should be treated as ground. Okay, you can say this DC voltage source is going to be grounded in two ways. One is nothing but using superposition theorem, because the circuit is consisting of two different types of inputs. Okay, two different types of sources. One is AC voltage source, the other is DC voltage source. DC voltage source is plus 10 volts, whereas AC voltage source is Vs. So that implies nothing but two voltage sources. By that time we have to calculate the overall response of this circuit by considering one voltage source at a time, and later you can add those two responses to get the overall response. That is what superposition theorem says. So if you are considering AC analysis, by that time DC voltage has to be grounded. This is one method. Okay, for the assumption of grounding DC voltage source. The second one is nothing but second reason why we are grounding. AC analysis is nothing but you are going to be applying an AC signal. AC signal is nothing but small signal where the variations are going to be taking place. For those variations in the AC signal, how the output is going to be reacting. So wherever the variations are going to be affected, that we have to consider. But whenever you are considering the DC voltage source, it's a constant voltage source. Okay, those variations given by the input signal will not affect the voltage of DC voltage source. It is going to be a constant. So there is no variations in the DC voltage source, so we no need to consider that one. We are only considering the effect of variations produced by the input. What is its effect on the different parameters? But DC voltage source itself is a constant one which doesn't affected by the input variations. That is, small signal input application doesn't change the DC voltage source. That's why no need to consider. That is nothing but changes in DC is nothing but 0. Delta VDC, change in DC voltage is 0 because of change in input signal. Because of that one also we can say it as grounding. Now we will consider the first one. First one is nothing but resistance seen by the voltage source Vs. For that one we must draw the AC equivalent circuit at the input side. Okay, to know the resistance seen by the source Vs. Source Vs is connected across input side of the BJT amplifier, so that we have to draw the input side equivalent circuit to calculate the effective input resistance. So for that one, first point is nothing but DC voltage source is grounded and C1 is going to be acting as short circuit, because C1 is given as infinite. C1 is given as infinite, so that XC, which is nothing but 1 by 2 pi FC, which will become 0. So that C1 acting as short circuit, that is nothing but now the base terminal is directly connected to RS. So we can draw like this. Okay, this is RS. Okay, and it is Vs. RS is going to be connected to a transistor symbol, and RB is also connected between base and ground. Base and ground. This is what ground, and emitter is directly grounded. This is what the symbol. Okay, and across RC, this is now this is capacitor and it is going with Now we are considering C2 so that the same equivalent circuit can be used for the second one. Okay, we will consider C2. C2, if you are considering at that time, this is going to be, first of all, this RC we have to write. RC is between collector and ground. This is what collector and it is base, this is emitter. So RC is between collector and ground, so that this is the value of RC. And next, and this is between output node V0. So C2 is between collector and V0, so that this is collector and V0 is nothing but one more capacitor we are going with, this is V0. And from V0 there is a resistor RL towards ground, so that you can draw a resistor RL towards towards ground. So this is RCRL and it is C2. This is collector. So don't confuse with this one. Okay, I am removing this one, terminals. Now this is Vs. We are going to interested in what is the resistance seen, that is Ri. For example, what is the resistance seen by the voltage source Ri, that we are going to calculate. This is what Rb. Now we have to replace this transistor symbol with equivalent circuit. So we are going to replace this transistor symbol with equivalent circuit, and the equivalent circuit first we will draw. For this transistor symbol, we are drawing the equivalent circuit by using R parameter model. This is what R parameter model, it consisting of R pi. It is also called as RBE. Okay, and next there is a current source which is nothing but GM VBE or beta IB, you can write. This is what emitter and it is base, and this is what collector. So the circle for this transistor symbol can be equivalently replaced with its equivalent model, that is R pi GMVBE and emitter. Now emitter is grounded. Okay, and between base and emitter there is a resistance of RB, and there is a resistance of RS. Okay, and this is Vs. And since R0 is also given, you can draw an R0 across this collector, that is collector can be extended, and you have to write some R0 value. Okay, R0 value you have to insert, so that this is what you are going to get. R0 is nothing but from here at this side, it is R0 is also included, because R0 value is specified. So this is equivalent circuit, and it is RB and it is RS, this is R pi. Now you are going with equivalent resistance seen by Ri. So whenever you are looking into this one, by that time this RB and R pi are in parallel. Okay, you can check this one, RB and R pi, they are in parallel. Okay, and this parallel combination is in series with RS. So you can write it as RS plus RB parallel R pi, where R pi is equal to, R pi can be calculated as, okay, R pi can be calculated as beta by GM. Beta by GM. R pi value can be calculated as beta by GM, and beta is going to be given as 100 and GM is given as 0.3861 ampere per volt. So this will be equal to 259 ohms. That implies nothing but 0.259 kilo ohms. So now Ri is equal to RS. RS is given as, okay, RS is given as 1 kilo ohm. Okay, plus RB is 93 kilo ohms, 93K in parallel with 0.259K. 259 ohms is nothing but 0.259 kilo ohms, you can write. So this parallel combination, always parallel combination of two resistances will be at most equal to the lowest one, or it can be lesser than that value. So that if you are going with, you can neglect this 93 kilo ohms, which is very large in the parallel combination, so that it will be 1 plus 0.259, that is nothing but 1.259 kilo ohms. Ri is equal to, Ri value for this is nothing but 1.259 kilo ohms, This is the resistance seen by the voltage source Ri. Next we will consider, okay, the C2. For C2 we have to draw the equivalent circuit like this. So for C2 again we have to draw the equivalent circuit. Now we have to consider, okay, now we have to consider the C2 value by that time. This is what we are going with. Now this is collector, and collector is nothing but this one, and from this collector RC is going to be there between ground and this one. VCC is going to be grounded, so that it will be looks like there is a resistor RC and there is a capacitor between V0, and from V0 there is a resistance of RL. So this is what C2, okay, and this C implies nothing but it is going to be a collector terminal. Don't confuse with that one, so that I am removing now. Okay, now if you are looking at, now we are going to calculate lower cutoff frequency. Now we are going to calculate lower cutoff frequency due to C2. Lower cutoff frequency due to C2 is nothing but FC2, which is nothing but 1 by 2 pi R equivalent into C2, where R equivalent is nothing but resistance seen by looking into the capacitor C2. The equivalent R equivalent is nothing but equivalent resistance whenever you are looking into the capacitor C2 terminals. That is nothing but across these two terminals. If you are going to see across these two terminals, if you are going to check, if you are going to see between these two terminals, what is going to be the resistance, that is going to be treated as R equivalent. What is the equivalent resistance whenever you are looking into the capacitor terminals of C2? That is whatever the equivalent resistance you will get, that will become R equivalent. So now if you observe, okay, let us assume this is what R equivalent and it is capacitor terminal. Okay, this is what where you are going to be connecting a capacitor of C2. So this will be treated as collector and it will be treated as V0. Okay, this is collector terminal and it is V0. From collector there is a resistance of R0 and RC. R0 is from collector to ground and RC is also of collector to ground. So that implies nothing but these two are in parallel. So there is a resistance combination which is nothing but R0 parallel RC. And next this is between ground, so that you can say it as ground. Next RL is going to be one more resistor which is present between ground and V0, so that you can write like this RL. Now if you are going to be checking about the R equivalent is nothing but simply it's going to be a series loop. Current flows in this direction, okay, so that it's going to be a series. So R equivalent is equal to, where R equivalent is equal to R0 parallel RC plus RL. R0 is nothing but it has given as 259 ohms, that is nothing but 0.259 kilo ohms, in parallel with RC. RC is going to be given as, okay, 250 kilo ohms. RC is given as 250 kilo ohms. 250 it has given RC is equal to 250 kilo ohms. Okay, 250 kilo ohms RC is equal to, in parallel with RL. RL value is going to be given as 1 kilo ohm. So RL value is 1 kilo ohm. So this is 0.259 in parallel with 250. 250 is very large compared to 0.259. What you will get is nothing but 0.259 itself plus 1. So this is 1.259 kilo ohms is nothing but R equivalent. So substitute in this FC2. FC2 is equal to 1 by 2 pi into 1.259 k multiplied by C2 value is given as 4.7 microfarad. So if you calculate this one, then FC2 value is going to be given as 27.1 hertz. 27.1 hertz. So the lower cutoff frequency due to C2 is 27.1 hertz. Lower cutoff frequency can be calculated for the C2 as 1 by 2 pi R equivalent into C2. Okay, R equivalent is nothing but the resistance looking into the capacitor terminals. Okay, so that is what we have calculated, and you have substituted that value. So FC2 is 27.1 and RI is nothing but RI is 1.259 kilo ohms. 1.259 is nothing but, for the first one the answer is B, it is 1.258 kilo ohms. Okay, and for the second one is 27.1. Both are going to be B options. Thank you.